are divided. These Epstein files are really dividing the folks. Well, they're dividing the MAGAs. I feel like the left wing, they're just like, what's going on? I high-key want I want the files to be released. Mainly because it's just like, I just feel like they're just hiding something. Like, something is just being hidden. When it comes to sex trafficking, I feel like that's a different level of seriousness. If you have the ability to like prey on younger children, there's no limits with you. Put them under the jail. Before we begin today's video, be sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media as we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Amen. Amen. So y'all, today we are going to go over this MAGA versus Trump / Republican / whoever is, I don't even know who's arguing with who at this point. So MAGA versus Trump, Epstein explained. These people are so upset with Donald Trump. I honestly feel like they have a right to be upset with him, only because Trump ran on the fact that he is going to expose these Epstein files, that the Biden administration, they're hiding something, they're trying to protect people, etc., etc. And now that when he has a chance, it's just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, why are y'all still talking about Epstein and this, that, and the third? I think it's one or two things. Either one, he's actually on the files. He's trying to protect himself, or he's trying to protect somebody that's close to him, or two, there's nothing on those files and he doesn't want to come out and admit that the Democrats were right. There's nothing on those files. I really think he's on those, not even the fact that he's on those files. It's like there's someone at least really close to him that's connected to him that's on those files, but something's on there that they are trying to hide, in my belief. And after Elon Musk tweeted what he tweeted, Trump doesn't want to expose these files because he's on the Epstein files. I'm like, oh, now that's some tea. So back in 2019, they confirmed that Epstein, he himself, all right, allegedly. So MAGA voters, some of them are saying that he actually did not kill himself, that he was murdered, and the government was out to get him because he possessed high profile information on powerful figures and what they called a client list. People are like, oh, there are these rappers, models, businessmen, CEOs that are on these lists that were part of this big child sex trafficking spiel. And I want y'all to make sure you keep this in mind, because on that client list, that's what Elon Musk alluded to, the fact that Donald Trump was on that client list once they fell out. All right, so boom. So Epstein's case, it's causing kind of like this MAGA split, you know. So a memo was actually released this past couple weeks. It was like a week or two ago. They released a memo by the Justice Department of the FBI, and they stated that there was no evidence that Epstein had a secret client list. There was no evidence at all. And people are like, that is false. People are like, okay, that's kind of false. That doesn't sound, fully true, because there was already a confirmation, or there was an insinuation prior that there was this list. They were saying like, there's so many files. Once we get in office, we're going to get right on it, yada, yada, yada. So MAGA, they disagree. They just had a conference. They just had kind of like a report conference / meeting that we're going to watch today, where a reporter asked Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, about this case and the evidence that was released. So during the questionnaire, Trump interrupts, and he interrupts with the level of frustration. He goes, so why are we still talking about this guy? Like, he's dead, he's this, a disgusting man, yada, yada, yada. And people are like, why are we still talking about him? Sir, you ran on the fact that you were going to expose these files. You ran on the fact that you were going to release these files and let the truth be known. And now you're upset that people are holding you accountable to your words. Yeah. That's kind of confusing. So let's go ahead and get straight into this video.
Now he says those files are a hoax. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. Trump continuing to blame Democrats, claiming without providing evidence the party created these files to undermine him, and that Republicans who believe it are getting duped. The president writing on social media today, their new scam is what we'll forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into the BS hook, line, and sinker. Trump adding, let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Speaking to our Washington, D.C. Bureau Managing Editor Catherine Faulders for more. So releasing the Epstein files was a major part of Trump's campaign last year. We talked a lot about it. Now he says it's a hoax. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And I think that is what many people are asking the president, whether it's his supporters, whether it's reporters in the Oval Office with him. What does he mean by that? What is a hoax? Who's told him that? Has the Attorney General Pam Bondi relayed that information? Now, Trump was asked that by ABC's Mary Bruce today, to which he essentially said, no, he's the one that thinks it's a hoax. He knows it's a hoax. That's obviously a baseless claim without any evidence, and obviously begs the question why he's bringing this up now. It has outraged many of his most vocal MAGA supporters. So the big question is, where does this end? I'm not quite sure. Of course, there's calls on Congress for testimony. We'll see what happens with that, whether there's investigations launched. But right now, it doesn't seem like any more files will be released. Trump is putting the ball in Attorney General Pam Bondi's court. He wants her to release the credible evidence. Begs the question, what is the quote-unquote credible evidence that Trump is talking about? But the reality is, Kira, this is not a story that's going away anytime soon.
Right. We know he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. We've seen the videos. We've seen the pictures. We've seen the pictures of the First Lady and the president and Jeffrey Epstein. And you got a great question to the president on departure yesterday, asking, about Pam Bondi. And did she tell the president he was in those files? And he didn't really answer the question.
No, he brushed it off. He said, no, there was a short briefing that he was given by the Attorney General, and then he went into the fact that he believed that this was made up and a hoax. So what we've learned, of course, is that the Attorney General briefed him. It appears on the contents of what was in those files after that months-long review by the DOJ and the FBI, but he didn't answer the question about whether or not his name is in the files. Of course, we know that that is a theory that's been floated, for example, by Elon Musk, that there is speculation about. Trump hasn't answered that question directly. So we'll see where this goes. But again, right now, he's eager to move past this, but his supporters really aren't.
Well, some Republicans are even calling for Epstein's convicted co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress. Do you think we could see that happen?
Look, never say never in Congress. I know our Jay O'Brien has been running around chasing lawmakers on this question. We know that some of Trump's top allies in the Senate have been calling for testimony, for public testimony in congressional hearings. There haven't been, for example, any letters to our knowledge sent requesting her testimony. Nothing's been scheduled. But the point is, on the congressional side of this, Trump's allies in Congress, at least some of them, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, who wants Pam Bondi to clear up some of her answers on this, the reality is they're not letting this go away either. They want to get to the bottom of this. And frankly, essentially, the different answers that Pam Bondi has been given. What's real here? What's the truth? Let's bring them up here to testify, whether it's Ghislaine Maxwell, whether it's getting additional answers from Pam Bondi. So there will be, it appears, a lot of congressional action on this to come.
Story's not going away, that's for sure. Catherine, thank you.
All right. Okay, so with the inconsistencies, you cannot be upset that people are upset at Trump. I'm not here to try to defend MAGA voters because you get what you vote for, honestly and truly. But in the same breath, it's like, I understand why they are upset at him. I understand the divide because it's the inconsistencies, for one. Two, you ran on the fact that you're going to expose these files. Three, the fact that Elon Musk insinuated that your name is in the files. And after he said that, you want to backtrack. It's like, what are you hiding? If you were to ask me, I'm going to be honest. I don't generally I think that the desperation to kind of like backtrack and backpedal with the Jeffrey Epstein case and files mainly has to do with who Donald Trump knows. I think ultimately, I don't think it's a hoax because the Democrats didn't tell Donald Trump to run on this. Donald Trump chose to run on this. Donald Trump chose to run on this, so I don't see how him trying to blame the Democrats for something that came out of his mouth, that just doesn't make sense to me. If this is, I don't think it's a hoax. I just think that it's a separation. I think there's something in those files that they really want to hide, and there's like half of Republicans who want to expose, and the other half of Republicans are still trying to protect certain people in that space. That's just my opinion, though. But let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. What are your thoughts? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media as we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Uduak, connecting people with policy. Toodles!